Hey guys, welcome to this episode of the Whole Man Show. Today we're going to be talking about spiritual warfare. I had my cup of coffee, late afternoon cup of coffee, and so let's get into it. So we're going to start with John 10:10, and what that says. I'm going to read the good book. John 10:10 says, "Thief's purpose is to steal, kill, and destroy. My purpose is to give life in all its fullness." Man, that hits hard. The enemy really has three jobs: steal, kill, and destroy. And really that's not a poetry line. That's his job description. So in your life as a man, it looks like this. He steals your peace through a thought that you have that you can't shake at night. He kills your marriage through slow disconnection. He destroys your mission by keeping you busy with good things that aren't your thing. He doesn't need you to outright sin. He just needs you distracted, isolated, and exhausted. And that is steal, kill, and destroy playbook running in real time every single day for a lot of men. You know, I really think that the enemy is not creative. He targets actually what matters. If your marriage is under pressure, your mind's under attack, I think that the enemy really will target what matters. And so what I'm saying by that, the enemy is out to kill, steal, and destroy. So to me, he's going to pick the one thing that you're struggling with the most. And he's going to get into your mind and make you think things that are not true. Where the enemy really targeted me early on was comparison. I struggled with a comparison mindset, and I really had to combat that and really go to the Lord and seek him for that resolution. You know, I'll always, as men, we look for success and a lot of things. And sometimes men feel like monetarily, if they're not supportive, then that just means that they're behind, or, and then also, and then you got this right here that you're constantly looking at, comparing yourself to so many men out there that you feel like, hey, they're one step ahead of me, or they have it all together, when that's just the enemy lying to you. Everybody's got problems. Everybody's got things that they're dealing with that's a highlight reel. Instagram, social media is a highlight reel. So you got to really think about that. So you got to run your race. I was interrupted by Murphy. The enemy is going to do whatever it takes to get you off your tracks, to derail you, to get you off your purpose. And the one thing that I really notice in my life is when I'm seeking the Lord and when I'm really feel like I'm in a groove, that's when the enemy is going to strike. That's when he's going to attack. He's like, man, Matt has really got it going right now. He's got everything. He's staying in the Word. He's going to church. He's doing all the things he's supposed to do, or at least what I think I'm supposed to do. And he's like, where can I attack him mentally to get him off the track or to derail him? Is there a door open? Is there a crack I can get in? Like, leaving doors open just allows the enemy to come in and kill and destroy. And kill and destroy is a big word because that's what he'll do. Because you were created for a purpose, and you were created to be strong, and you were created to lead. And the enemy is going to try to get into your mind to get you to stop. He's going to tell you you're tired or you're not good enough. You're going to deal with a comparison mindset instead of a kingdom mindset. And you really got to stop that. You got to, for me, I picture, I think I said this on a post the other day, I picture what the enemy potentially would look like in my head, smiling at me and be like, I got you. I got in. You left the door open. And that mental image really shifts me back to strength quickly. And I get into the Word. I get into worship. I get quiet, really quiet, try to get undistracted. And it really gets me back centered. And I think a lot of men just get too distracted. And I'm raising my hand. I get distracted too with AI and how many things are out there for information. I get distracted. And I think that's where men are going to suffer. And I'm praying for the men of this generation. Yeah, that's me personally. Another thing that I wanted to mention was taking care of your body, like rest, One thing that I realized when I was struggling with some mental health stuff, I had some challenges with my family and something, with my kids, especially just some challenges. And I really realized that, your mental health and is at stake by how you take care of yourself. So that's when I really went all in and on my health and working out and gave up alcohol and I'll have a glass of wine every now and then, but gave up the energy drinks. I'm like, what can I do to make my life so optimal that my mental health is clear, crystal clear, that I can make better decisions, that I can have peace in moments? And then, am I getting enough rest so that I'm thinking clearly, that I can get through my days? And so, this life will have trouble. I can't exactly remember the verse, but this life will have trouble. It's promised. But how do we combat that? Do we go to God? Are we taking care of our body in order for us to be strong to handle that? But that's kind of what I'm saying there. And I realized by doing all those habits and changing those habits, I was showing up better. I was being more patient with my kids. And Amy and I's marriage has always been good, but we were communicating better. We were praying over each other. We were doing things differently, and our marriage just instantly, the communication, and we're on the same page about everything usually, but we were even 10x that. And so that's where it came in for me. That's where it showed me really quick by taking care of my body. It's also spiritual because our spiritual warfare is real. And it combated a lot of these thoughts that I potentially was having about myself and about my life and about my success and about my future that was just robbing my days. And it's a lie of the enemy. All right. And with that, he doesn't come loud. He comes quietly, in my opinion. He quietly gets you there in isolation, distraction, and comfort. In isolation, he gets you out of accountability. Like if you have, accountability with, he feels like no one wants to, you don't think a man wants to hear this. Like text someone about it. Take off your mask. Get in an accountability group. I've got the whole man. Whole man coaching. I have that. I really think that is something that if you're dealing with, you've got to get around like-minded guys to help you combat those things. Isolation will absolutely rob you of your days and your life. Getting isolated, especially getting isolated with this, that's not good. Distraction. He fills every margin with noise, so you never sit still long enough to hear him. And he's trying to distract you from getting in the Word, getting quiet with your spirit, worshiping. He's trying to keep you busy. I read something the other day about a Sabbath and how and keeping it holy. And are you having a Sabbath? I mean, it's actually, based on what I read yesterday, it's pretty much a requirement. I don't do a good job of it. I'm going to start doing a better job of it. And are you having that Sabbath? Or are you just working 7 days a week as a real estate agent as well? Working 7 days a week, having that truly Sabbath, the rest, because the enemy wants you distracted. He wants you to be distracted with everything that is of your health and making you feel better and have clarity of your mental health. Have your mental health just in optimal state. Comfort. He gives you a kind of an easy exit from the hard thing, the hard conversation, the hard discipline until you drift so far. You like, why do I have the conversation now? So he doesn't come in loud. And where, what are some things that potentially will help you? Read Ephesians 6, where it talks about the armor of God, where it talks about the armor of God and the daily practice. So it's really a posture that you really have to, if you're not familiar with it, it's just a posture that you potentially have with yourself. So you have the belt of truth, which means you start your day anchored in what actually is real and not what you feel. Then you have the breastplate of righteousness, where it means you've dealt with what needs to be dealt with and you don't have any open door. And then you have the gospel of peace, which means you move from a settled identity, not from fear or reaction. Then you have the shield of faith, which means you've already decided what you believe before the enemy tries to get into your home or tries to get into your open door. are cracked. Then you have the helmet of salvation, where it means you protect your mind, because that's where the battlefield really is. Your mind is something that's going to control everything, in my opinion. What you watch, what you see, what you allow yourself to see, what you listen to. That's the big one for me. The helmet of salvation. Then you have a sword of the Spirit, which means the word is in you, not just on a shelf. So this is something I can get better at. So this is your sword. We use the word of God to combat, things that are said about you and things that you're saying about yourself. And that's big. That's a big one too. So the question isn't whether you've heard of this Ephesians 6 or the armor of God. The question is whether you're going to put it into practice every single day. And if you can sit here and look at me and say, "Oh, Matt, you've got it all together." Nope. Do I go through these every day? I do not. Should I? Yes. I should. And I want to start doing better at it, because your words and the things you speak out loud have weight, and it's important. All right. If you made it this far, I really appreciate it. I hope you've got some value out of this show. And my next step here is really, where do I go from here, Matt? Is kind of where I'm at. And so if you're losing ground, I think this is your move. I want you to get honest with yourself today and look in the mirror and be like, I need people. Get out of isolation. Text someone that will answer the phone. Just have a conversation. Go to lunch. Tell them what you're actually dealing with, because accountability moves the needle for you mentally. You cannot stay silent. And he's going to keep you isolated, because isolation means that you're really exposed. If you feel like you need to be isolated, that's being exposed. So get with a brother that you can really take the mask off and let him pray over you. Just talk about it. We all live in sin. And I know if I were to ever fall back, knowing what I know now, if I were to fall back and start living in sin on a daily basis with just things that are just not from God, I got buddies around me that's not going to let me do it, but I can be that for you as well. And so, again, the enemy's primary goal is for you to be silent. He's going to keep you isolated, because an isolated man is someone that is just going to struggle. An isolated man is someone, God created, in my opinion, people for community so that you can get around each other. I'm a part of a couple of coaching programs, and I'm a part of, an accountability group at 5 a.m. with a bunch of guys, like-minded guys from all over the country. And what we do is we just build each other up. I've never seen a text thread that has so much building in my life. I got a men's lunch group that I go to, and, my local guys, and we get around each other and we just talk about what we got. Everybody's got something they're going through. We just talk about it. So don't be silent. Get out of isolation. Don't be isolated. And, get in a group, small group of men. Call somebody that will listen to you and let you pull your mask off. So I hope you like this episode. Again, I like doing these. I really do these based on kind of what I'm currently talking about or currently reading. That's kind of how I've been doing in the show. So I'm hoping you like that. Like this, please like and subscribe. If you want more, throw me something in the comments on something that you potentially would want me to talk about, and I'll do some digging on it and give my, unfiltered spiel on it. And so hope you enjoyed this episode of The Whole Man Show. If you, in the description is going to be some information around my coaching program and things that I got going on. So